Hey everybody, Fitz and Toaster here, and I'm going to be doing just a quick little video that goes through some of the main stage skips and cuts in the Great 1000 Miles Rally. Now, if you're watching this video, you already know what the game is. There's plenty of tricks and routing, corners to cut and all sorts of things to do that are going to save a lot of time. But there are three stages in general that do not look anything like they're intended. And these are going to help you a lot if you're going to speedrun the game, and they're also going to help you a lot if you're just trying to 1cc it. So stage 5 is what we're going to start on. So now stage 5 near the end has a straightaway section that we're looking at right here, where you have to dodge construction. First the construction's on the right, then it's on the left. Then this usually devolves into a very technical section. But the speedrun has a way to just skip it, and it's very easy, like stupid easy. So what you're going to do is you see your car here. We're going to line up the left side of the car with the left side of the road, or the dirt, however you want to think of it. And it doesn't have to be even that precise. It's got to be pretty dang close, but it doesn't have to be that precise. And then literally all we're going to do is just hold the accelerator and ignore the upcoming turns. So check this out. And that saves a huge chunk of time. Now we're going to watch that again and slow it down a little bit. You'll see that once you're lined up there, it'll actually go directly through those two trees, through the dirt, past the rocks, and on to the next section. And that'll get you onto the home stretch of that track, which is fantastic and makes life a lot easier. That saves upwards of 5-10 seconds. It's probably about 5 seconds depending on your route. Now we're going to move on to stage 8. Stage 8 has probably the trickiest major skip in the whole run. I actually didn't even do it for my first few weeks of attempts. I had to learn how to do it, but I've figured out a way to I've got it pretty well down. So about halfway through stage 8, we're going to turn up like this. And I'm just going to go ahead and play it in full speed. And then we're going to go back and examine it. All right, now that little section there saves 3 to 4 seconds probably, and it looks ridiculous. If you actually follow the intended route, you have to go all the way around, and it's this big looping hairpin turn. Now I want to show you what I've figured out for the stage 8 skip. Now, first off, once you get up to this straightaway, you want to be lined up more or less with the right side of the road. Do not be in the dirt, because that will slow you down and throw you off. But you want to be pretty far over to the right, about there. Now, getting through this section is actually a little trickier than you might expect, especially given that last stage 5 skip. This actually takes 2 different inputs. So we're going to slow it down. So what I do is I wait until I first see the dirt get thrown up by my tires, and I make one turn to the right. That will get you through half the section. Now, as soon as you see this huge rock coming up, you're going to want to tap right one more time. And the rest of it actually takes care of itself. So we're going to watch that one more time. This is probably the hardest skip in the game. Once you get used to it, it's really consistent though. So line up to the right. As soon as you see your tires hit, tap right one more time. And that's a good 3-4 second save. That's huge and pretty consistent. Let's watch it full speed one more time. The big thing is to not get scared. You have to make both. You have to do 2 different inputs, but you have to make sure you don't overdo it. Otherwise, you'll end up in the wall or in the rocks or anything like that. So let's watch it one more time. You line up with the right side. As soon as you see the dirt being thrown up by your tires, you make your first turn right, and then you tap right one more time for a very minuscule amount to adjust and dodge the rock. And that's a huge time save. Next up is going to be stage 12. Now, stage 12 is pretty much just one big skip. So let's just watch the whole stage 12, and then I'll go through a couple of the individual little bits. All right, so now that looked crazy, I know, but there's only 2 things. This game likes to repeat patterns. So there's 3 sort of S turns that you're going to be skipping that are almost identical. And then there's 2 other turns that are also almost identical to each other. So we're going to start at the very beginning. These turns, you're going to want to basically skip through and drive straight through. So the way I like to do it is start on the left side, drive through the grass, and turn directly straight 90 degrees north. I overshot it. That'll get you through that. The next turn is almost identical, and you're going to... the layout's a little different, but you're going to want to do it the same way. You're going to want to turn essentially 90 degrees north and get through the grass. Then the next turn, this happens twice in this stage. This little 90 degree thing, to the right, you're completely free. This grass over here and all that is completely free. So you're going to want to just cut across as much as you can. So that's that. Once we get through these S's, I'll show you where this starts to repeat. Not here. Oops. Right here, we have a turn that's almost identical to the second turn in the race. So again, you're going to want to go straight through and then turn north and skip through the grass. And then here we've got another one of those 90-degree jaunts where everything to your right is open, so you're going to want to cut directly across those. And that is your major skips in the Great 1000 Miles Rally. And those will those make some of the trickier stages a lot easier, a lot faster. Will help you once you see it, and hopefully we'll get more people interested in the speedrun.